Thursday. I open my eyes blearily, waking up to the sound of something pounding in the distance. I stare up at the ceiling a moment, then abruptly prop myself up on my elbows, looking around, confused. Where the hell? Oh yeah, Flynn's room. Taste just come in my mouth. Alright. I'd fallen asleep on Flynn's bed, naked after I had taken a shower. Turns out that lizards don't have dryers, so I was left to air dry. I was tired, so Flynn had let me lay out on his bed on a few towels, and that's where I am now. I guess I fell asleep. Again, the pounding. I look over to my right and see Flynn curled up, his back facing me. I think he's naked as well for a moment. Then I see he's got boxer briefs on, black color blending in with his skin. I reach over and poke the rough skin of his scaly back. The frills on the back of his neck flare out for a second, then lay back down. I almost do it again, but Flynn's grumpy, annoyed as hell tone stops me.
What?
I clear my throat. Sorry, but it sounds like... I don't have to say it because the pounding starts back up again, echoing up the hallway.
What the fuck?
Flynn pushes himself up into a sitting position, squinting at the hallway through the door.
What time is it?
Flynn rolls off the bed and starts putting on a shirt. I grab my phone, glad to see that it's still at half charge. It's 9. At the same time, I notice that I have some texts. Several of them. From Leo. Shit.
What?
Flynn hops around the room as he tries to pull on some pants. My eyes scan over the texts, realizing who it likely is knocking on the door. The messages started about 2 hours ago. Go for it, Leo.
Hey, I was at the motel and you aren't there. Jenna says she doesn't know where you are either. She says you didn't spend the night there. You and Flynn are the only ones not answering my messages. Are you at his house? Yo?
I feel my stomach go into a knot. Fuck! Flynn whirls on me, annoyed, now fully dressed. The knocking has stopped, but I'm still uneasy about what I've just found out. I think it's Leo.
What?
This time, Flynn sounds panicked. He's been texting me all morning. He thinks I'm here now. I show Flynn my screen, but he barely looks at it. He's got his arms folded, his mind clearly racing. You know he can't find out that I spent the night here. I try to keep my voice under control.
I know.
Yeah, we both know. Things are basically over between Leo and I. But that doesn't change the fact that this will bring up all kinds of problems in our little friend group. Flynn paces for a few seconds, then turns back to me.
Well, he's gone now. I can just get Carl to say that you spent the night at his.
He already texted Carl.
Shit.
Flynn groans and hangs back his head.
Well, did he ask him if you spent the night there?
No, just that he didn't know where I am. At least that's what he said in a text.
I'll just tell him I don't know. And Carl can say you were there.
Don't you think Carl would have told? Flynn suddenly reaches out, grabbing my shoulder and throwing me sideways onto the bed. I stare at him, wide-eyed, but he's not looking at me. Instead, he's staring at the window behind me. What? He throws his hand out in my face. He throws his hand out in my face, silencing me. Flynn moves to the window, and that's when I notice a big shadow is shifting around out there. I scramble to the other side of the bed, heart hammering in my chest. Did he see me? The curtain is covering most of the window, but the foot-long gap at the end is just enough to look in. Flynn starts pantomiming in front of the window, shrugging his shoulders and shaking his head. Finally, he drops an arm with a sigh and leans in the crack of the window open.
What the hell are you doing? Why the hell didn't you answer your door?
Leo's voice is angry. Honestly, a lot more angry than I would have expected, despite the situation.
I just woke up. I was knocking for like 5 fucking minutes.
1 second.
I'm a heavy... Huh? Did you hear me? Hello?
Okay, go for it.
Right, did you hear me say it?
Let's go with I was knocking for like 5 fucking minutes.
Okay. I was knocking for like 5 fucking minutes. I'm a heavy sleeper. You're dressed and everything. I just got dressed. Most people don't go peeking in the windows when they don't get an answer, though.
Flynn glares to the window. I quietly roll off the bed so I can hide better, even if I'm not in view of the window from here.
Listen. I'm just looking for Chess. Have you seen him? No.
Flynn shifts his position a bit in my direction, as if trying to block Leo's view.
Looking for something? Yeah, Chess. Well, he ain't here. Why would he be? He stayed behind with you at the party, didn't he? Yep. Then he ran off to do some project or something.
There's a long pause.
Poor chica. Could I come in for a sec? I need a drink. But go back to your house, man. You're saying you don't want me to come in?
Flynn sighs loudly, rubbing his eyes.
I'm saying I'm tired. It's 10 in the fucking morning. It's 9, but yeah, sometimes I stay up late. Why?
Flynn lowers his hand from his eyes and glares out at Leo.
Listen, I'm not really in the mood for this right now.
Another long pause.
You're acting a little crazy right now, too. Listen, I'll be on my way if I can just come in for a beat. I'm fucking burning up.
I see Flynn push his forehead against a glass, eyes closed, frustration written all over his face.
Alright. A glass of water, then get out so I can go back to sleep. Fine.
With that, Flynn closes the window, watching it for a while before sighing loudly again.
Alright. Stay here, got it? If he knows you're here, we both know he'll kill us both.
Yeah.
Alright. If for whatever reason he comes back here, hide under the fucking bed if you have to.
With that, Flynn turns and heads out the door into the hallway. The last thing he said has me feeling like shit. Sneaking around behind Leo's back like this is wrong, even if I know telling him about it would be a lot worse. Is it my fault that Leo can't get over our relationship? I have the right to do what I want, right? I sigh and press my forehead into the bed, staring at my crotch. That's when I realize I'm still naked. I look up, listening. I hear the front door open, followed by some distant mumbling from Leo. If I sneak to the bathroom real quick, I can grab my clothes. Maybe stay there until Leo leaves. At least that way, it won't look as bad if he finds me for whatever reason. I get up and pad quietly to the hall, listening. I can hear some clinking around in the kitchen, then the murmur of some voices. The kitchen is practically out of sight from the hall, which leads to the living room. I stand there for a moment longer, tail twitching as I contemplate if this is a good idea or not. A moment later, I hear Leo's voice coming from the kitchen area again. I quickly tiptoe the short distance to the bathroom. Despite not having come close at all to being caught, my heart still hammers in my chest. The voices continue to mumble in the kitchen as I start looking around for my clothes. They're folded neatly on the counter, and I quickly snatch them up.
Pretty sure I wouldn't smell on you.
I catch a few words from Leo that makes my ears perk. Something about smell? Leo smells a lot of things. He has a canine's nose. My eyes widen. Did he smell me on Flynn? I'm pretty sure Flynn hasn't showered since what we did yesterday. My heart rate picks up again as I feel my knees wanting to give out.
Where the fuck are you going?
This time I do hear Flynn, and I know exactly what it means. The only problem is that I'm still naked in the fucking bathroom. Should I lock the door? Then Leo would definitely know someone's here, and that it's probably me. Fuck! I mouth the word, knowing that Leo would hear it if I said it now. I hear heavy footsteps coming up the hall. I definitely can't go back to the room and hide under the bed now. They don't keep coming towards the bathroom, though. The movement becomes somewhat muffled again as they turn into Flynn's room.
This is fucking crazy, Leo.
If Leo heard Flynn, he doesn't say anything. I anticipate the sounds of Leo ripping up Flynn's room, but I guess he isn't that far gone because things go quiet again. Then there's some pacing around, along with heavy breathing.
You realize I could call the cops, right?
I hear the closet door open. I look around desperately, realizing that I don't have much time. The first thing I see is the shower curtain and the bathtub. It's a see-through blue color, so there's no way I can stand behind it and not be seen. I hear shifting around in the other room again, and their bickering becomes more clear as they step back into the hall. Panicking and practically numb with fear, I crouch down and pull open the cupboard under the sink. Amazingly, there are only a few bottles of cleaning solution, leaving plenty of room for me to squeeze in. As quietly as I can, I crawl into the opening. Reaching back out, I pull the door closed, setting my other hand against it as I do so that it won't spring shut. Everything goes dark, and their voices become muffled again. I back up against the very back of the enclosure, hugging my knees as I try to keep my breathing quiet. It's actually a little while before they come into the bathroom, and I almost jump as Leo's voice booms into the small space.
His smell is all over your fucking house. Then he should probably shower more.
There's a small silence, and I imagine that Leo just gave him a look that shattered any surly confidence he might have had.
Like I said, he was here for like an hour yesterday. And why didn't you fucking tell me that earlier? Because I knew you'd be acting like this. Seriously.
Their footsteps shift again in time with their voices muffling. I dare to let out a small sigh of relief. I can still hear them arguing, but I don't really care enough. I follow them, because I clearly make good decisions.
Because I'm Chase Hunter.
I don't have any kind of
Common sense?
common sense. You pass through the cupboard door into the bathroom. You follow the voices down the hall.
Body.
You follow the voices down to the hall, through the kitchen. Leo's on his way to the door. He stops in front of it, turning back around to Flynn, who's following close behind.
You're really starting to piss me off, Flynn. And you're really starting to freak me out, Leo. All of this still doesn't explain why his smell is all over you.
Flynn works his jaw for a moment, eyes narrowed.
We roughhoused a little bit by the mine.
By the mine.
And you know how we get sometimes. And it was really hot.
Leo is shaking his head like he's tired of listening to what Flynn has to say. Like he's tired of everything.
And then to have it mixed with that smell.
Flynn throws up his hands, exasperated.
I jerked off later. Sorry, but this really ain't any of your business. You know, it kind of fucking is, since I planned out the entire fucking thing.
Leo's starting to lose his temper again. You know this isn't like Leo at all.
Calm down, Jesus. Maybe he went off to do more research or whatever. Said he wasn't done at the mine.
At the mine. Leo's not listening anymore. He's looking to the side, staring at the wall, hackles raised.
Listen, I'll drive around town real quick to see if I can find it before work, alright? Flynn, you know you ruined this whole thing for me, right? For you? What are you talking about? And I'll be fucking damned if you do it again!
The anger and spite in Leo's face is scaring Flynn.
Leo, what's going on?
But Leo isn't listening. The wolf turns sharply away, yanking open the door.
Leo?
Flynn reaches out, resting a hand on Leo's shoulder. Flynn reaches out. But at that moment, the wolf throws an elbow back into Flynn so hard that the lizard is sent stumbling back several steps before falling to his knees. Flynn lets out a hoarse groan, but Leo ignores it, slamming the door shut on his way out. Flynn stays like that, doubled over on the carpet, making soft, rasping noises before his breathing finally comes under his control. He stays there a while longer, absorbing what just happened, knowing that Leo isn't himself either. He also regrets doing anything with Chase. Not sure how Chase understands this and can see what's going on, but oh well, don't worry about it.
Third person. Chase is living in third person now.
Chase is living in third person. Finally, he looks up, right at you, dear viewer. You decide to leave. There is really no point in trying to reason with him. It's been a while since you've been out alone like this. It feels good not being attached. Something about that lizard, Flynn, is helping this happen. You have to deal with him. You'll have to deal with him later. As you continue to walk down the dirt road, you see him. It takes a while at first because he's so far away. But then you see the thick tail waving back and forth as he approaches you. Can he see you? Probably. It's been a long time since you were attached. But the feelings, the thoughts, you can remember it like it was yesterday. The new one is better. A lot more quiet. At least, you made him quiet. It's easier to do than this one. He keeps walking towards you and you start to wonder if you should turn back. You always snap back eventually. Why not let this play out? Let's see how far this will go. Now that you're this close, you can see water dripping off his body. Even after all these years, finally you can make out his face. Angry? No. Furious. Finally seeing you again. He doesn't like what you did, and who can blame him? He starts to run towards you. You finally stop walking, waiting. He's on you in a second, lunging, blunt claws and sharp teeth bared. I keep wondering if I should come out myself. The last time I heard any voices was like, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. Still, I realize that they could both be outside, or something. I just don't want to come running out if Leo decides to come back in. So I wait. Starting to feel sweaty in my cramped position, my nose twitching from the strong chemical smells. I'll probably have to take another shower. After a few minutes, I hear soft padding up the hallway. I know it's Flynn, but my wait. Another few seconds of silence goes by before Flynn finally speaks.
He's gone.
So, how are we going to explain to Leo that Carl just, forgot that I was there? I pull my shirt over my head, feeling kind of gross, putting back on my musky shirt. Flynn stands in front of his dresser mirror, having just finished putting on his tie. He's currently picking at his scales with a pair of tweezers.
Carl forgets everything, especially when he gets high, which is all the time.
Flynn's been acting kind of distant after the whole Leo incident. It's not hard to imagine why. I'm feeling the same way. Leo almost probably finding out, had put a damper on our stupid excursions. It really put it into perspective how immature we were being. Alright. So, I'll say I spent the night at Carl's, then left in the morning to do some filming, then came back? Flynn had told me to text all of this to Carl before I go over there. The only response I'd gotten so far was a short, What?
We don't got any other choices.
I guess not.
And Chase, we probably shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah, I know. Flynn glances at me through the mirror, then returns to picking at his skin. He clears his throat.
I know this is kind of gross, but
It's fine. We've all got our gross things to deal with.
can't go into work looking like I got snowed on.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't ever really get that bad, but
Flynn breaks off awkwardly as he goes back to his grooming. It's weird seeing him this off, but again, it's not like it's unwarranted. I sit on the edge of his bed, texting Carl again to try and get him to at least partially understand what the plan is. After a couple of minutes, Flynn clears his throat again.
Listen, Chase, if you ever feel a little bit like not yourself, like you're being controlled by something.
You mean like someone sitting in front of a computer screen or something?
Maybe recording this whole experience?
Huh. I look up and see that the lizard is looking at me through the mirror again. It's strange. He quickly turns his attention back to his picking.
I don't know. Like, you're not fully in control of what you do.
I frown all the time. I have schizophrenia. No. Is Flynn trying to get at something? Explain his own actions? Does he feel like he wasn't in control of what happened between us? No. At least I don't think so. Flynn finally puts down the tweezers and turns to me, leaning his rear against the dresser.
So, you've never felt like you have multiple personality syndrome and you're watching while some other personality's controlling your body?
You mean like what Jenna would call dissociative identity disorder?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
What would Flynn Muir call it?
I mean, I'm Chase Hunter. If I was Jenna, I'd be a lot smarter and probably not over here.
That's true. So you've never felt like you're not yourself?
Though I'm not totally sure as to what Flynn is getting at, I decide to humor him and think. I guess after what happened when we were kids, I didn't feel right.
Yeah, after Sydney?
Yeah. I tried to avoid talking about it directly, but Flynn doesn't seem to be bothered right now. You probably remember that I saw a therapist after, because I felt so different and it scared me. Flynn nods.
Did they figure it out?
Kind of. If I remember right, they said it was like a dissociative thing.
What's that?
Like, sometimes when something really traumatic happens, your mind just sorta distances you from yourself to protect you. I shrug. I'm Chase Hunter, I don't understand any of this shit. Something like... something like that. I'm not very good at psych stuff. I almost tell Flynn to ask Jenna, but of course he can't. I mean, if he wants to...
Get scolded.
But I mean, he'll basically just be on his hands and knees, like folded over, like, please forgive me, I'm Flynn. I know I'm an asshole. Just to get anything, aside from just getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. Like, look, I don't have balls, but it still hurts. Fucking stop.
Look, I know I'm big, and I know I'm a tall lizard and stuff, but like, how are you still grappling me? She's just got him in an arm bar.
Yeah. Climbs up him. Like a little luchador wrestler trying to go after a WWE guy.
Yeah.
So, did they fix it?
Not really, but I got used to it, I guess. It was like the new me.
And you're okay with that? Just like being out-of-body experiences all the time? Being controlled by someone like you've got a joystick up your ass or something?
No, sure, again, the joystick's up my ass, and it's kind of nice. I mean, but...
Someone's mastering your joystick.
My therapist said that really traumatic things can just change the way your brain works forever. You just learn to live with it.
That doesn't sound good.
No, but it's part of life. I think we all changed.
Yeah.
I don't go into detail about how it got worse over time, the whole not feeling like myself. How I felt more and more like my personality was bleeding away. That I'm a completely different person now than I was 10 years ago. Because in the back of my mind, I wonder if that's just what it... Because in the back of my mind, I just wonder if that's what it's like to grow up. That you become less like you were as a kid. Happy, carefree, and a complete douchebag. And turn into a hollow shell of that. But you keep the complete douchebag part.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
I can't.
Douchebag.
I learned from the best, Flynn. Learn from the best. Learn from the best.
Learn from the best. Learn from the blessed. That's right.
I can still feel Flynn looking at me, so I decided to bring up something else that's just as uncomfortable, since we're already there. So, when are you planning to talk to TJ? Flynn's silent for only a second.
Saturday, at the end of your trip.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea. It doesn't leave much time to make amends if things turn sour, which they most likely will. But then again, I guess that means we'll easily be able to just leave as soon as it's over. Okay. Flynn's still looking at me, so I abruptly stand up, putting my phone back into my pocket. Anyway, you ready to go? I don't want to make you late for work.
Sure.
Flynn finally straightens up, walking across the room to grab his keys. I'm glad just to have somewhere to go now. Flynn feeling off like this is one of the most awkward experiences I've ever had. Probably because he's usually so good at making things not awkward. So with that, Flynn takes me to Carl's house, dropping me off before heading to work. And then Leo jumps out of the bushes and is like, "Oh, Pochica, I have found you."
Oh, I knew he was lying! God damn it!
He pulls out a machete. Says, "It's time."
It's chopping time!
He murders everyone at Echo before getting shot to death by the police from Peyton. But he takes like 90% of them with him, totally.
It just turns into like one of those like those old arcade shooter games where you just shoot the guy and then the boss, like, he's dead before he realizes he's dead. he's like looks around like, "Oh, am I dead? Death animation."
Dude,
You remember that game?
I'm just thinking of Sunset Riders. Where
Yeah,
you
that's
shoot
what I
the
was
boss.
referencing.
Yeah. He's just like, "Oh!" Or like Magica. It's like, "Oh, blood loss. My one weakness." Ugh.
Dude, I think I have Magica. We should just do like a stream where we just get together and play again.
That game was
That'd be
so
fucking
dumb. It was great.
awesome.
Yeah, we should get together with a bunch of people.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh, we should do it with Pyro since now he's kind of getting his stuff together a little better.
That is true. He can have his gamer subs.
Let's go!
Let's see. But yeah, Leo, he goes and like kills like 90% of the police officers in Peyton, and then he gets shot and he finally dies. And then he wakes up from his nap and he's like, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah. He's like, Echo doesn't need a monster. I'm the monster!
And then Leo goes and stands in front of his mirror and goes, like, looks at his muscles. It's like, yeah, me.
Who needs a gun when you've got these guns? Yeah. Starts kind of bobbing up and down like he's like a kid in front of the mirror. Yeah.
I'm so swole. I sit quietly next to Carl on the couch as he plays his video games. It's some kind of first-person shooter that I've never seen before.
You know, I'm not all that into shooters, but this one is pretty good.
Yeah? I try to act interested as I browse through my phone. I've already texted Leo apologizing and telling him that my phone had died. It's weird how quickly this lie has gotten out of control. I'm making things up as I go at this point, and I'm amazed at how easy it is. Leo hasn't responded, and I doubt he believes any of it. It still gives both of us room to pretend, though.
You know, it'd be really funny if Leo was like tech savvy enough to like go into the phone and just look at the like battery power history settings and be like, "Yeah, you said your phone was off? You're full of shit, Chula, because I can see it was charged at like 50% all fucking last night. You're a liar. God damn it."
You're a liar, and you probably have friends coming in your front.
Yeah, why do you have that smell on your breath?
It smells like cum.
It smells like Flynn and cum. Smells like Flynn's comb. Okay. Yeah, man. I think it's the sci-fi elements. I could never play one of those World War shooters.
Same. Carl clicks around with the controller for a while longer.
You alright?
I sigh loudly, finally tearing my eyes away from my phone. Yeah, I'm good.
Because you don't seem good.
I don't respond to that, instead choosing to zone out over what's happening on the screen.
What's with this whole story anyway? About you spending the night or whatever?
I debate whether it's worth telling Carl or not. We go along with it either way, but keeping all of these secrets is starting to make me feel sick.
I've got a lizard fetish.
Well, when I spent the night at Flynn's, Leo found out I wasn't at the motel, so he came looking for me.
Oh shit. Did you and Flynn...
I let the silence hang for a while. Carl snorts.
Whoa.
Come on, Carl.
No, I don't mind. Just seems kinda weird.
How so? I feel myself get defensive. Not really in the mood to be judged by Carl of all people. I mean, he just sits at home and plays video games. If streaming was a thing back then. Didn't he say he tried streaming at one point?
I don't remember.
Who knows? Yeah, he's cool and everything, but his life, let alone his sex life, doesn't exactly put him in a position to do so. To judge me.
Fucker. Well, you just barely got back. Well, you just barely got here like 5 days ago? And already...
I sigh.
Brown chicka bow cow.
You know how Flynn is.
Yeah, I do. A hole is a hole.
So, you shouldn't be surprised.
But, I mean, you've known him since we were kids. Just feels a little bit...
Carl, I'm not really in the mood right now. Carl goes quiet for a few more minutes, then the clicking buttons on his controller the only sound. It doesn't last long, though.
You know, I saw you guys at the river a couple days back.
I saw you too.
I mean, I saw you guys.
Carl, I just said I'm not in the mood. Carl shrugs.
Just saying, I already know. It's cool.
I keep quiet, hoping that Carl will get... I keep quiet, hoping that will get Carl to drop this stupid subject already. It doesn't work.
Some people just don't learn, dude. So you just gotta be blunt with them. Just be like, shut the fuck up!
Okay, well, I remember that, but I don't remember where it's from. Oh, now I remember. Hell of the boss.
Striker, I think it is.
Striker, shut the fuck up!
I'm kidding.
I'm trying to do my
Shut
job
my
here.
goddamn job! You people follow me around singing. Shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up!
That's goddamn hilarious, dude.
Hell of a boss is so great.
Hell yeah, it is. But I get why you gotta keep it from Flynn like this.
From Flynn, huh?
But I get why you gotta keep it from Carl like this.
I pull
But I
my
get why you gotta keep it from Leo like this.
I pull my phone out to see if I gotten a text from Leo yet. I haven't. Me?
Me and Leo, we don't hang out all that much. Though I think he tries to. He talks about you a lot.
I try to ignore the guilt that's steadily building up inside me. Did you smoke today? Because you're being real talkative right now.
The subtlety's wearing off, isn't it?
He's starting to get frustrated. Don't worry, Chase. Maybe if you blow him, he'll be quiet. He'll pass out for a little bit.
Yeah, get him tired. Let him do the work.
I only ask because I don't smell it. Usually it's pretty strong.
Actually, I had an edible this morning.
Carl giggles for a good long while after that. Oh, really?
Keep going, I'll just keep giggling.
I massage my brow with a thumb and a forefinger. Normally, I get along great with Carl, especially when he's high. But after this morning, basically everything is getting on my nerves.
I usually hate that shit, but I don't know. Guess I was bored today. Those things shoot me into fucking space.
I guess it explains why you won't shut up.
There goes the subtlety out the window. Hey, am I pissing you off?
I immediately regret what I just said as Carl puts the game on pause. No, just had a stressful morning.
Oh, with Leo?
Carl starts the game back up, giggling again as he shoots the Space Marine in the face. Mm-hmm. Finally, a text from Leo.
Good to know.
And then Leo starts giggling through the phone.
Now I just need to record. Now I just need to copy Carl, and then just put that on another audio track under Leo giggling. Have them both going at it.
We just get in a big group phone with all the characters in echo, and they're all giggling for some reason. And then we just hear this weird, like, out of nowhere. We're just like, what the fuck is going?
And then Striker, shut the fuck up! Everyone stops.
Silence! I kill you!
Just all of them. Oh, you get like the whole Monty Python looking thing where everyone's like, shut up! Shut up! Get on with it!
And now, for something completely different.
Get on with it!
And then an entire army, get on!
Alright.
Another one immediately follows.
Let's hang out sometime soon.
When you don't smell like cum.
Yeah, we don't smell like Flynn's cum. But you know, Flynn cares about you too.
Yeah? I text Leo a quick affirmative, though I'm not really sure when that hangout is going to happen.
Yeah, wouldn't stop talking about you when we drove to the reservation.
Really? It actually did seem really out of the ordinary. What the hell would Flynn have to say about me? Carl shrugs.
He likes rocks. Bunch of stuff. He wanted to buy you something from the reservation, but thought it might be too weird.
Flynn buying me a gift? That is kind of weird. For Flynn, I mean.
I thought it was kind of cute.
What else did he say? Carl seems to think hard while he continues to shoot guys on the screen. He twists the controller this way and that way, bumping my shoulder each time.
Said you seem to have grown up a lot. That you're way different than you were as a teenager. Your chest is filled out. You know, all that kind of stuff. Yep. Really cute.
Carl's tone seems slightly annoyed there, but I don't really care enough to ask about it.
By the way, how's your project going?
Oh, I know why he's annoyed. Because Carl's still a perpetual teenager.
He's just a little jelly.
Yeah, Carl's never grown up. He does in his route, though. That's the nice part.
He does grow in this route by the end of it, yeah. I think we even talked about that, why he would get stuck because of all his trauma.
Yep.
Which kind of makes sense, but yeah. Probably he'll grow during this one, I kind of forget.
And I mean, there's the whole thing of, like, trauma. Like, dissociative stuff, like, that is still very real. Just all those experiences that you have changing how you think and perceive the world. It's, I actually learned about this at work. There's something called the auto default network, which essentially is that whole part of your brain that ruminates and replays memories when you're just not doing anything. So you'll be sitting there. Let's say you had an argument with someone and you are now sitting there and you're replaying that argument in your head when you're not doing anything. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that's
what you're talking about.
That's called the auto default network, or the self default network. And the problem with it is that it's kind of useful in that it lets you replay these negative events so you can sort of, resolve them on your own. But it can also be bad in that it just perpetually stresses you out and brings up a negative memory. So, like, if you've ever heard of mindfulness, this is that literally hard counters that. So the whole thing of when you find yourself getting into that point where the auto default network is just going crazy, it's good to just take a deep breath, reground yourself, and just be like, nope, we're not talking about that right now. We are talking about this. And we're going to just pay attention to how the ground feels beneath us. We're going to focus our mind on something that's not that. And being able to do that is incredibly healthy.
That's like when it comes to meditation, some forms of meditation is just you just kind of sitting there, focusing on your breath, kind of observing, but not like kind of trying to control the thoughts that are going through your mind. So you kind of get an idea of where your mind's at. So if like that, you call it like the reminiscent thing.
Yeah, the auto default network.
Yeah, the auto default network is just towards like it's leaning into a lot of bad memories that would stress you out or irritate you. You can kind of step out of the observation mode of the meditation and be like, no, let's redirect this network into something more positive and try to get it to shift into defaulting to good memories. I don't know.
You're actually just... So your brain goes into the auto default network when it's not doing anything. So in a way, it's kind of good because it will focus on whatever is useful, and so it allows you to emotionally process stuff that happened. But it could also be bad in that if what it's trying to process is this really traumatic event that makes you angry all the time, like, that's not useful. You're just angry all the time and it's making you more angry. So in that way, it can be really bad. So it's just one of those things where being able to moderate that is very useful, because literally like we've all had those moments where we have a thought and it's just like, this thought is not good for me right now. I'm not thinking about this. And then your mind thinks about it again. And you're like, no, this thought is not good for me right now. I don't want to think about this. And so you focus on something else. And then when you finish that and have nothing to do, that thought comes up again. So that's just how your brain works. It's trying to reprocess that. An easy way to think about it is
brain defragging.
Yeah, it's trying to emotionally process stuff. And an easy way to think about it is like, let's say you were hiking and something went kind of wrong, and no one got hurt or horribly maimed or anything, but like something went wrong and it was obviously a problem. So your brain wants to focus on that to figure out what went wrong so you can fix it. The problem is that's what the default network is great at. The problem is when it is something that you find somewhat traumatic, but that was one-sided. Like, it wasn't your fault per se. Like, you didn't do anything, but this traumatic thing happened to you. So now the auto default network is focusing on that, and every single time it brings it back up, you just get kind of angry and you get stuck in this cycle where you're like dealing with that again. And then you realize that you're like, I don't want to think about this. So you go and do something else, then it comes back to it and it focuses on it again. And the thing is, you can... The problem is that when it gets stuck on that thing, if that thing is really traumatic to you, it can just essentially just be reliving the memory over and over and over. So for instance, when someone has PTSD, I think the flashbacks that they're having is the auto default network touching that memory again, them having a flashback to that event. And the problem is that the emotions that you felt during that event are also triggered by the auto default network. So
kind of like a mild PTSD.
Yeah, so if you were angry about something and it brings it back up, now you're angry again. If you were scared about something, like a really traumatic event happened that gave you PTSD, and your auto default network keeps focusing on that to try and process it, when it really can't process it, because that's trauma, you need to process it later, usually with help. The auto default network tries to process that, you freak out, you get terrified, you get anxiety attacks, like it feels like your heart is pounding, like you're having a heart attack or something, and you just want to go find the smallest place you can go hide in and hide there. Like that's the auto default network's trying to use its process to process things, but it's just not good for you. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So it's something that your brain uses to process things and to emotionally process things, but it kind of just runs when there's nothing else going on. When you don't have it, when there's nothing else being processed, it sort of starts running to process things. So what you want to do, if that is kind of being a problem, is you want to instead be mindful of yourself. That is just where you you focus on your breathing, you focus on where you are, you focus on what's around you, how things feel. Like, I'll give you a fun example. You can't really feel your shirt right now, but you can feel it now.
Before you even said it, now I can, thanks.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Like, there's so much stuff you could focus on. Like, you could literally just do that thing where you force your awareness to just, like, parts in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I can really focus on the tip of my finger, or I can focus on my elbow. And it's just like being able to push a focused sensation around your body. So, super useful. And that basically just breaks the auto default network. It takes it away from it. The real problem with it is just that it stresses you out, and when you get stuck in perpetual stress, that's not good for your brain. It's not good for you. So being able to take it away from that is super useful.
Yeah.
Being reminded that I have an entire project to do doesn't ease the knot that's formed in my stomach. Not that great. Still need a lot of film and research.
What kind of research?
Stuff about Echo.
Like history stuff?
Yep, like the stuff that's in your basement. Carl plays a while longer, then sets down his controller.
My mom might have some Echo history stuff in the cellar, but...
He pauses.
You know how... Flynn is like the records holder, right?
The clerk. Yeah. I already know that what Carl is getting at, and honestly I want to kick myself for not thinking of it in the first place. Carl turns to me, a loopy grin on his face. Those edibles really do fuck with him.
So, let's go get some records from him. Probably better than digging around in my basement.
Well, yeah, we should, but I don't even know what to get.
Don't worry about it, dude. I go down there to shoot the shit with him all the time. We can ask him.
Things aren't exactly cool between Flynn and I right now, but it's something to do. I'm so behind on my project at this point, I don't have any excuses. Exclusives.
Exclusives?
Mm-hmm. Exclusives. I mean, hey, Chase, I mean, at the bare minimum, you can just say that you had to, like, pay Flynn for his services. We pull into the gravel parking lot in front of City Hall. That City Hall? What a fucking dump.
What? It looks like it's a tent city. Holy
yeah, it
crap.
looks like it's a homeless shelter. Well, no, homeless shelters look kind of look a lot better than that. No, like seriously, they are nice buildings. Sometimes they're a little run down, but they're nice buildings. It's just
this $1 million structure houses the people that make less than $20,000 a year.
It's just, sometimes drug deals go down there. The stucco structure looks like a hell of a lot more. The stucco structure looks a hell of a lot more weathered than I remember it. Tarps drape the roof, and one of the windows is blocked out with plastic. City Hall is probably the oldest building still standing in Echo. From what I read on the county's website, it served as the town's post office back in the early 20th century. Before then, it was an outpost used as an intelligence operations center during the years leading up to the Mormon Rebellion. Government spies were planted in the nearby settlement of Colville to Peyton. In the nearby settlements, the nests. From Colville to Peyton, and delivered their reports on potential agitators at this outpost. They actually kept a priest on hand to help reaffirm the spies' faith in the true word of Christ. It's weird to think that Sydney was the last Mormon I knew. Are you sure Flynn works here? I exit my car, watching Carl stare ahead. His eyes are half-lidded, the ram seeming to stare for miles beyond the building in front of us.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Alright. Carl doesn't move. Are you gonna come out? The ram blinks slowly, his maws starting to hang agape. He shifts his bloodshot gaze. He shifts his bloodshot gaze shifts towards my torso.
My parents would flip.
Okay, yeah, the edibles have hit in full force.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to get that whole like tone of just like, I'm fucking high.
Okay, like,
Slow
serious thing though?
Like,
If you're gonna do something like this, what you want to do is take the edible first, and then once it fully hits, smoke a joint. And then you'll get up to like, you'll go to like you'll go to like a 4 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10, you'll stay there for like 10 hours. He flops his wrist in front of him limply, his tone tinged with effeminacy. Oh my goodness. Of the car?
Yeah. Just give me a second.
Carl reaches down, unscrewing the lid from his water bottle and taking a few hearty glugs. When Carl grabs the car door handle, he hesitates. After a moment, he looks at me. He's completely silent, sucking in his chest on one side.
His cheek.
Mm-hmm. Sucking in his cheek on one side. Carl?
Sucking his chest on one side. He's got a wound.
Yeah, he's somehow able to, like, control what lung gets air. Does that mean he's able to, like, take a breath and then just push it between his lungs?
He knows he can control his eyes like a chameleon, just one eye looking in one direction, the other one looking everywhere else.
Remember, everyone, when you play baseball, you gotta keep your eye on the ball. Finally, he speaks.
I sort of agreed to come without considering that I'd be talking to anyone but you and, crew today. Let alone the mayor and stuff. I'm so stoned as balls. I look like shit.
He laughs some in real self-deprecating fashion. Visibly sheepish despite the THC still flowing through him.
I think I might just chill here in your car with the air conditioning and hike on tactics.
He holds up his phone, and I think I can just barely spot the icon for it in a sea of other game maps. Carl does look high, though he doesn't appear any worse than he usually looks. Telling him that probably wouldn't do much for his confidence, though. Okay, here's the thing. If we bring him in, Flynn will be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Well, he doesn't smell like pot, so... Yeah, Flynn would be like... Also, the fact that Carl's high and chatty as hell, like, would probably just annoy the shit out of Flynn, which probably wouldn't make Chase look any better in his eyes right now. So let's bring him in.
So, if we let him stay at the car, he might drive our car. And we know how that works out. He just drives into like a phone.
Oh yeah, because you got to turn the car on to have the AC going, huh?
Yeah. So we'll come out and have no gas. Then again, he might just leave the car on by accident. So if we reassure him that he's okay. I mean, his parents can't be any less. I don't want to say that. That's too mean. I was going to say his parents can't be any less disappointed in him, but the night is young. Can't be any more disappointed. And again, it's the mayor of Echo. And his addiction is very, very, very well known throughout Echo, I'm pretty sure. He's that rich kid who just walks
Plus,
around
what are they gonna do
stoned
to the rich
everywhere.
kid? And plus, what are they gonna do to like the richest people's in town's kid? You know?
I mean, on top of that, there's the whole thing of like, he's not hurting anyone. He's not causing any problems. He's just high. So there's like, okay, whatever. And
he says he goes down there all the time. So it's like, they would probably be happy just having him around. Like, hey, Carl, how's it going?
they know
You don't smell like pot today.
he's super high all the time when he goes down there.
Yeah, he's probably super high all the time.
Let's reassure him and let him come with us.
Yeah.
Because it's more chaotic.
Yeah, which is more fun. It's more fun for us.